Right now, let's try it. Now, since last time we started printing "Hello World," right now I can't remember the steps to do. Shall we try out how to write, how to display something? Display, let's say my name is John or something I want to display, and how to do it. Yes, Java class right now. I want to write a program, Java program to say my name is John. Okay, tell me the steps to follow and how to do it.
First, we need to define the class.
Right.
Class,
Without a class, can you write a Java code? Without a class, can you write?
cannot.
Cannot. Yes, you need to have a class. It's a must. Right. Now, in order when it comes to declaring a Java class, do we have to follow any guidelines, or you can do whatever you want, or you have to follow any syntaxes? What? Do you have to follow the syntaxes? When you're defining the class, is there anything we need to follow? Right now, class, a keyword. Class is a keyword, right? Is it capital C or simple C, or how? How to write
Capital
the
C.
capital
Capital
C?
C.
Like this?
Yes.
Afterwards, how
Then,
to define the class? Yes.
then we need name for some. What is the name of the class? We have
Yes, class name. Okay. Class name, I'm going to say hello world. Can I define a class name like that?
there can be space.
There can be spaces.
Uh,
Can we have spaces or not? Yes, anyone?
No, we can have spaces.
You can have.
We can't have.
Yes, you can't have spaces. Yes, it should be a one word. You can't have a space. Right. Okay, class hello world. And thereafter, right now, okay, I have written the class keyword and thereafter followed by the class name. And then
open
add,
curly brackets.
yes, curly brackets. Okay, why do we have to use a curly brackets?
It shows the starting point and the ending point of the
Yes,
class.
great, great. Yes, it shows the starting point and the ending point. Yes, the scope of the class. Right now, as a habit, right now, make sure when you start the class name, always use a capital letter when you're starting the class name. Even if you use a simple letter, that will get compiled without any errors. But like, as a habit, just have a use a capital letter to start the class name. Right. Then, okay, we have defined the class. Okay, inside the class, what we can have?
Main method.
Method and variables.
Yes, you can have methods and variables. Yes. Main method is a one of a method. Yeah. Yes, inside the class, that means inside the scope, you can have only methods and the variables. You can have methods and variables. Right. Now, variable we will discuss in a little while. Okay. What is a variable? What do you think?
It is store the value in temporarily.
To the value in temporary. Right. Okay. What else? To store values temporarily. One answer. Is there any other answers?
So it is a programming language.
Sorry, programming language.
Yeah, variable
Variable is a
programming language. Understandable for us.
right. Variable is a part. Okay, you can say part of a language. Yes. Right now, the purpose or the use of a variable is like now, for an example, let's say now you're gonna ask from the user what is your name, and user gonna enter the name. Right now, the name I want to use several times. Right now, in order to display again, hello, so and so, likewise, I want to use it again and again. For that, I need to store it. I need to store the value. Now, that is not a permanent, because if it is in order to be like a permanently storage, right, either you need to put into a database then. You need to store it inside a database. But now, once the program finishes and when you rerun it, now those values will not be there. Therefore, now the values will be temporal. Right. Therefore, in order to store values temporarily, we could use variables. And using variables, we can access the values which are stored temporarily. Right. Now, when it comes to Java variables, right now there is a definite type for a value. Therefore, you can store respective type values only in a particular container. Right. Now, in simply, you can say variables are used to store values temporarily. What values? User inputs. What are the user inputs? Names, numbers, or the letters. Likewise. Right. Now, inside a class, you can have variables, you can have methods. Then if I ask, what is a method? What's going to be the answer?
It's a block of code.
It's a block of codes. Okay. It's general, right? More general. Then if someone asks to be specific, can you explain further? What is a method?
Method is the
Method is a
that used to do some execute operation.
to execute operations. Okay. Good. Great. What else? Yes, to execute operations. What else? Any other answers, please?
So it's a set of instructions that to perform a specific task.
Set of instructions or set of guidelines to perform a specific task. Yes, yes, very good. We can say a method is a block of code. Yes, that is a block of a code. Otherwise, method is a set of instructions. Method is set of instructions to achieve specific objective, to achieve specific operation, specific task. We have used set of instructions, set of guidelines. Yes, right. Method. And now you should remember, in a class, you can have only variables and methods. And in simple, variables are used to store values temporarily. Methods are used to achieve specific actions, specific objectives. Right. Now, what is the difference between a method and a main method? Difference between method and a main method.
in main method, if ends, the execution will be also end. That it is the main set of the instructions.
Yes, main method, we can simply say, remember, the starting point of your Java program is the main method. Once the main method, if there's a main method defined, then only you can run that program. Otherwise, you cannot run. Therefore, if you want to run your Java program, you need to have main method. The starting point of the execution is the main method. Starting point. And once the main method finishes, that's the end of the program as well. That you need to remember. Right, starting point of the program. The execution starts when main method starts. Execution finishes when main method finished. Right, now I want to define a main method. Right, because I want to do some task. Because you can have many methods, but without the main method, you cannot run the program. Like it's like you have a car, but without the driver, you can't go. Therefore, main method is a driver in a Java class. Right. When you want to when you have to declare the main method, how could you do it?
Public.
Public.
Static
Okay.
void main. Public
Public
static void main.
main. Right. Okay. Now, when you're writing public, P, is there anything we have to follow or just simple P-U-B-L-I-C or capital P-U-B-L-I-C what?
Simple.
Public static.
That is also simple.
Simple. Right. Static. Void also simple, right?
Yes.
Main is capital, right?
No, simple.
No, simple.
Main also simple, right? Good. Inside the main method, do we need to pass any parameters?
Yes, string.
Yes, we
String
need to
array.
pass
Array.
string array. Yes, string array called args. Right. Main method also, we need to define the scope of the main method. Now, that is also done by using curly brackets. Right. Let me.
ඔන්න කෑම එකක් දෙන්න වරේ මැරෙන්න හදනවා යන්නද මට මේක අහන්න දෙන්න මාරේට ගිහින්
Right. Then, okay, now we have the main method declared. Right now, I want to display something. How can I display? If I want to display to the console, how can I do it?
string array.
You can use system method.
You can use?
Method called system.
System is not a method, Puti. System is not a method. What is system?
It is a class.
මෙතන එහා පැත්තේ එකට යන්න.
It is a class.
It is a
Class.
class. Java system. Is it a class?
A library? A Java
It's a
library.
library. Okay, what else? What are the other answers we have? Now we have, it's a class, it's a library. What is it actually? Yes, what do you think?
Syntax.
Syntax. Right now, system.out.println. No? Right now, tell me, which one is the method? Right now, in order to print something, we use system.out.println. Right now, we heard that system is a library, system is a class, likewise. Then actually, what is system? Oh, I think it is a package, likewise then. What is a system? Yes, system, remember, it is a class. System is a class. Now, in Java, we have something called access modifiers, like public we use in main method. That means everyone could have access to the public methods, public classes. No? Likewise, but system is a final class. That means no changes allowed. System is a class. Right now, remember, system is a class which is available inside the Java, inside the lang. Java lang.package. Now there you have the system class. Right, system is a class. Right, then system class. Right, now we need to use system.out. Out means right now we want to print something. No? Therefore, an object of the or instance of the print stream, we use the it is a member field of the system class. And then println is a public method. Println is a method. That is a method. Println is a method of the, you can say in simply, of the system class. Right now, in the system class, out is a static member, public static member of the system class. Then there println is a method. Right now, system out dot println. Right now, we need to type the system dot out dot println. Right. System dot out dot println. Right. Now, what do we need to pass into this println method? What do we need to pass into the println method? It is a string because the println method accepts only a string value. That is why we need to pass it as a string value by putting it inside the double quotes. Hello world. Everything inside the double quotes. Therefore, now this goes as a one argument, which is a string value. Okay, let's save this. Right. Thereafter, now from the command prompt, you need to get into the exact location. Right. Now, how to access it, how to compile it? How to compile it?
You need to type Java C space file name.
Right, now we can do it by invoking the compiler Java C space file name. File name is what my, okay, what is my file name? Test.java, therefore Java C test.java. Right, now I'm getting a lot of errors. Now let's start one by one. Okay, why don't you give a shot? Just start reading the values. Okay, how to fix it?
So the uppercase, lowercase.
Yes, now first one is what? Now it says, right, now in line number 1, test.java in line number 1, the class, interface, enumerator, or record expected. Now, because we have used capital C class, no? Therefore, now it says class, we need to start with the class keyword, right? Therefore, now it should be simple C. Right, now let's save it. Right, let's run it. Okay, now it got compiled. Now, what would be the file name? That means now once you compile, you know that it's gonna generate the bytecode. No? What would be the bytecode file name? What would be the bytecode file name? Is it test.class or is it hello world.class?
It should be hello world.class.
It should be hello world.class because here the class you declared is hello world. No? Therefore, it should be hello world.class. Right now, Java. You can see hello world.class file is there without .class extension. We could print hello world. Right. Now, this is how a basic program is working to display hello world. Right. Now, rather discuss further, let's declare a variable as well, and then we'll discuss the theory behind this. Right now, I want to declare a variable with the type of string, and a variable should name is name. Data type is string, variable name is name. I have declared a variable, and then I'm going to assign a value to the variable. Name equals Jane Doe. Right. And then I'm going to, inside the brackets, I'm going to just put name. Now, if you run this, now I got an error. What would be the error again now?
The system, we have to pass a string value.
No, the class keyword right now here we have, I have made it capital again. I may have accidentally with Control C. Right. Right, now you can see it got fixed. Now Java. Class name is hello world yet. Hello world dot class without dot class extension. Right, now it displays Jane Doe. Right, now you can just print the variable name. Right now, try out that. And thereafter try out to print my name is Jane Doe. Try to do that.
So when we are typing, my name is Jane Doe, we should type all in capital, right? At the beginning.
No. I just do. The name would be only Jane Doe.
Ah.
Let's say now I want to pass, like I want to print. My name is Jane Doe right now. Okay. Here, let me copy this line. Here I'm going to print inside the double quotes. My name is, and I'm gonna close this. Right now, if you can remember, a little while ago I said, inside, okay, now the print method expecting only for one string. Now, println method expecting only one string. Therefore, now I have to pass only one string. Therefore, I need to append what I have typed. My name is and the value of the variable. Therefore, I have to use the plus operator. Right. Now, it can append. Now, value of the name variable gonna append into the my name is and thereafter Jane Doe. Right. Now, let's try out. It says my name is Jane Doe. It prints. Okay. Likewise, declare a variable of type integer. Now, string is a way for characters and words. No, let's say integer number. Declare variable called integer number. Int simple. And assign some value. Let's say age. You can have a variable called int age and assign a value and then display my age is the value of the variable age. Try out that as well. right? Right now, here, right now, at the time you declare the variable, if you want, you could assign the value as well. And if it is an integer variable, age equals, let's say, 15. Right. Then try out thereafter, create two variables called number1 and number2. Assign the values like number1, any number you like, and number2, any number. Thereafter, get the sum of those two numbers and display the total is this. Would you quickly try out? Finish? Have you finished?
Yes.
Right. Okay, then, right, let's get back to the little theories we have to cover up. And then we'll continue with further. Discuss this and we discuss this. Right. We'll start with this. Right. When it comes to the Java architecture, we may have started discussing this last time. Right now, we have 4 separate but intertwined technologies, which is, you can say, Java programming language, Java class file, Java API, and Java virtual machine. Right now, we have now you have already used the Java programming language, which has some syntaxes, some rules to follow. And then we have the class file, the Java class file, and thereafter, the application programming interface. Now, the Java class file, that means once you compile, we got the class file. And in order to run the class file, it gets the support from the Java API. Now, because now in our class also, we are using another class, which is available in the Java lang.package, the system class. Then, since we are using the Java lang.package, the system class, you can see it now the Java API, which loads the respective classes required. And Java virtual machine also we discussed. What is a virtual machine?
It is a software which can be handled by our machine, like
Yes, virtual machine is a software only subcomputer. A software only a subcomputer is called as a virtual machine. Right now, here when it comes to now when you install Java, now if you can remember last week we downloaded JDK for Windows, Java Development Kit for macOS. Likewise, you may have downloaded for different platforms. Now, then Java Virtual Machine is a platform dependent, because like now you need to download the respective software. Now for this one, I can't install the Windows version. Likewise, no. Then once I install Java, that means once I install the JVM, now even if it is a Windows, if it is a MacBook, whatever, you have the same Java virtual machine installed, same version. Then our class files, when you compile, get compiled according to the Java virtual machine. Now that is common on everywhere now. Therefore, we could run it on anywhere on any computer where you have installed Java. Right. Now, programs are written using Java programming language. All the code falls within methods. Programs are compiled into Java class files. And Java classes run in the Java virtual machine. When the Java program runs, it is assisted by the other classes in the Java by the application programming interface. Right. Now, this is what we have discussed last week. And if you can remember, we discussed that as well. We write the source code, and then using compiler, we compile. Once you compile it, generate the bytecode, or else you're going to call it as a class file. And then we're going to feed the class file into the Java virtual machine. And Java virtual machine, with the help of Java API, it interprets and provides the output. Right. Now we know the bytecode, and the bytecode is not compiled into the machine language. That means once you compile the Java classes, it's gonna convert it into bytecode. That is not the machine code. Now therefore we call it as a bytecode. Then the bytecode is a result of Java compiler, which is a low-level code similar to the machine language, but which is generic and not specific, because that could work on any, that is not dependent on any processor, because that could compile according to the Java virtual machine. Therefore, it is generic and not specific. Thereafter, the bytecode is feed into the Java virtual machine. Then Java virtual machine is a software-only subcomputer within the operating system that converts the Java bytecode into the machine language and executes. Now, Java virtual machine converts the bytecode into the machine code. Right. Therefore, Java virtual machine is platform dependent. Therefore, there are different Java virtual machines for each operating system. Then bytecode talks to JVM, and JVM talks to the operating system. Right now, we feed the class file into the JVM, and JVM, with the help of Java API, it runs. That means it communicates with the host operating system, and we get the output. Now, this is how the virtual machine works. Now, we feed our class file into the Java virtual machine, and with the help of Java API, Java virtual machine interpret the class file line by line, and it provides the output, and the output communicate with the host operating system. Right. Now, Java API is application programming interface, which is a set of classes and interfaces, comes with the Java runtime environment. Therefore, this is a huge collection of library routines which performs basic programming, displaying, looping. Likewise, now the system class is loaded by this Java API. Right. Therefore, you compile your program once into the bytecode, and that is interpreted newly every time it runs, because you compile only once, then it converts the bytecode, and every time you run the bytecode, it gets interpreted every time it runs, right? And since Java files get compiled according to the Java virtual machine, therefore, you can say you can write once, and then you compile it, and then you have the bytecode, and then the bytecode can be run in anywhere, wherever you have installed Java. Right now, it doesn't matter which JVM, like the platform. If you have Java installed, you can run the class file. You can feed your class file into any JVM. Right now, here we're going to talk about these console interfaces and graphical user interfaces as well. Now, so far we were doing console applications. Right, therefore now Java platform is unique because it can work without modifying on any platform on any operating system if that platform has Java virtual machine. Now that is why Java codes are portable. Therefore, without doing any modification, you can write it on any platform on any operating system if the platform has Java virtual machine installed. Right.
Sir, is it different for Python?
Python is an interpreter. Python uses interpreters. Java uses both compiler and the interpreter. Right. And then Java technology mainly consists of Java virtual machine, Java runtime environment, Java development kit, And then double OP concepts, and Java uses both compiler and the interpreter. And mainly, write ones run anywhere. You can run your code anywhere, wherever you have installed Java. Right now, when it comes to Java development tools, right now there are integrated development environments, right? We call it as NetBeans, and we have IntelliJ. Likewise, we have different Eclipse. We have different integrated development environment tools available. Right now, integrated development environment. Like if I ask, what is a Java IDE? What will be the answer? What is a Java IDE? What do you call as integrated development environment? What is it? What is an integrated development environment?
A set of
Sorry?
libraries.
Set of libraries. No. What is an IDE?
It provides tools for the Java.
Not only Java, IDE. Now, if I ask what is an IDE?
It provides the path for run a program which is in language, computer language.
No. Right. Anything else?
It is a software application. It includes the features used for Java, like writing, testing, debugging.
Sorry.
It is a software application that includes features in Java, like writing, testing, and debugging, compiling.
Yes, exactly. Right now, if it is an IDE, right now, in our case now, in order to write our program, now I use TextEdit in software, and thereafter I have used the terminal or the command prompt in order to write our program. Now I basically I am using two different applications, right? And text editing software and the command prompt. An IDE means integrated. Now it says integrated development. Integrated development, that means the text editing tools, the compilers, or the console, terminal, and not only that, some other graphical user interface components, database services, profiling, performance handlers, everything in one place. Right now, then you could run your database, you could run your services, and everything you could do in one software, in one place. Now that is what you call as a integrated development environment. And then the advantages of using integrated development environments are, right, you could generate the code. Most of the codes can be generated from the software itself. Therefore, code generation. And code suggestions, like if you made a mistake, then it will show you, it will underline it, or it will show you the errors. Then you can easily detect the errors and you can fix it. Therefore, in your the error identification, likewise you can consider the advantage of the code generation, and most of the codes can be generated. Likewise, you could use those other advantages. Now here we'll be using NetBeans in our case. Right. Then we have Java platform. Mainly we can divide into 3 platforms. Now actually 4. Java SC, Java EE, Java ME, Java FX likewise. Right now, EE means the standard, SC means the standard edition. Now that's what we're going to do. EE means the enterprise edition. ME means the micro edition. Because Java is a big technology, now that since it has been spread across various platforms and devices, therefore rather having a huge package for all the platforms, now the technology is divided into specific editions, then the size of the package become less. Right. Right now, the simple Java program we wrote, and then we got the output, and we know how to execute it as well. Right. Right. Then we discussed about this. Right now, same thing we have almost discussed. Therefore, let's go through this quickly. Now, in our Java, we compile. Then the compiler translates the source code into bytecode. And secondly, the interpreter generates machine code that can be directly executed by a particular machine, which is running the Java program. Right, therefore, Java files are both compiled and interpreted. It gets compiled first, and thereafter, every time it runs, it gets interpreted. Right, now that will increase the efficiency of the Java programs as well. Right, because it is already compiled, and then every time it runs, it gets interpreted. Therefore, these are some Java buzzwords: simple, secure, portable, double loop, robust, multi-threaded, architecture neutral, interpreted, high performance, distributed, dynamic, likewise. Right now, simple, Java has a concise, cohesive set of features which is easy to learn and use. Secure. Java provides a secure means of creating applications. Yes, portable. Java programs can execute in any environment where there is Java installed. Portable. Object-oriented. Java programs are object-oriented. Therefore, Java embodies the modern object-oriented programming concepts. Robust. Right now, the Java encourages error-free programming by strictly typed and performing runtime checks. Right now, it will take compiler time checks and the runtime checks as well. Therefore, it is robust and multi-threaded. Java programs integrated support for multi-threading applications. Then architecture neutral, because Java does not require the architecture, because like the applications are running on the operating systems. Therefore, Java is not tied to specific machine or operating system architecture. Interpreted, because Java supports cross-platform code through the use of Java bytecode. First, Java source code get compiled into the bytecode. Secondly, bytecode interpreted to the Java virtual machine. And high performance, since already we have a Java bytecode which is highly optimized for speed and execution. Distributed, you can say, because Java was designed with distributed environment of the internet in mind. And the dynamic, that means Java programs carry with them substantial amounts of runtime type information, which is used to verify and resolve access to objects at runtime. Therefore, Java codes are right now we can see simple and small because it's familiar. Because Java codes look like C++ code, because it's a simplified version of C++. And Java has no pointers, no header files, no go-to statements. And then it has no operator overloading and multiple inheritance. And also Java has removed the redundant features of other programming languages. That's why it has become a high-performing programming language. As I said, Java is platform independent and portable because Java code can be compiled once and run on any platform which has Java virtual machine installed. Therefore, you can say write once, run anywhere. Write once, run anywhere. You have to write only once and then you can run any number of times because why? You have compiled and thereafter once you have to compile once, then you could run it on any number of times, any on the PC, wherever you have the Java virtual machine installed. Therefore, remember write once, run anywhere. Now, Java ensures the portability in two ways because it says Java products are platform independent and portable. Now, Java has some primitive data types. Okay, can someone quickly figure out what are the primitive data types available in Java? Primitive data types available in Java. What are the primitive data types? Search, please. Primitive data types of Java. Okay, quickly find and tell me what are the primitive data types available in Java? You can Google it if you can't remember.
There are 4 types. Of primitive.
Okay, what are those?
One is integral types, floating point types,
Integer,
character type,
okay, floating,
Boolean type. Boolean type.
Boolean, and character.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. What are the integral types?
Byte, short, int, and long.
Tell me, integer, is it a primitive data type?
Yes.
Yes,
But we could store in integer variable.
we can integrate numbers.
Yes, integer name, it says integers. Yes, right. Short, is it an integer? Right. Yes, we have integers. We have byte, short, int, long. And thereafter we have float, double. Then we have char, boolean. Likewise, we have 8 different types. Right. Now, Java ensure the portability of the codes in 2 ways. One is by generating the bytecode, because the compiler generates the bytecode, and the bytecode can be run on any computer wherever we have installed Java. That is one way. The other thing is the size of the primitive data types are machine independent. Size of the primitive data types are machine independent. Right. And Java supports the internet, and Java is object oriented, because everywhere, like now when you talk about Java, the first thing you will heard is Java is an object oriented programming language. Right. Does any of you know what are the object oriented concepts? Is anyone know?
Hello.
Hello, yeah.
Inheritance.
Inheritance. Okay, what is inheritance?
Uh, inherits. It can create new classes which are the same attributes and methods.
Yes, same objects, no? It has to be characterized. It can create new objects, instances.
Yeah.
Right, good. Inheritance. Yes, very good. What else?
Polymorphism.
Polymorphism. What is polymorphism?
Uh, it's the same method or same class can be accessed in different ways with different parameters.
Yes, in simple terms, you can say different objects act differently for the same command. Right now, for an example, if you have shape class, right, what are the subclasses of shapes? We can have circle, we can have rectangle, we can have square, like us. Those are shapes, right? Then in the superclass of the shape, if we have a method called draw, then when I call the class name and when I call the draw method, the circle class may draw a circle, rectangle class may draw a rectangle, square class may draw a square, likewise. Then different objects act differently for the same command. Polymorphism, yes, right. Now, inheritance, encapsulation, polymorphism, yes, you can say those are the main object-oriented concepts. Right. Now, first of all, you need to know, before you know about the object-oriented concept, what is an object? Right now, remember, everything in Java is an object. Everything in Java is an object. The all program, code and data reside within the objects and classes. Right now, we have created a class. Using a class, we can create objects. Using a class, we can create objects. Right. Now, right, let's see how to declare a class and methods, objects. Now, objects model makes Java simple and easy to extend. Right now we'll okay, let me show you an object and a class. Right now you may feel like it's difficult to understand. Just don't worry. For the illustration purpose only, I'll be doing this. Right. Now I'm gonna have a class called student. Class called person. A simple C class, simple C, right? Remember that. Class person. Let's say I'm gonna have a method called variable called string name. Let's say a method called, you can see I'm going to declare a method as well. Void C, be simple void. Say hello, and it is a method. Right, now I have a class called person. Person class having a variable called name and a method, variable and a method. All right, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create person class object. Now this is the class. I'm going to create a person class object. Person p equals new person. Right now I'm getting an error. What is the error? It says p dot say hello. Yes, now capital SAY here. Java hello world. Right. Now you can see John hello from John Cena and hello from Jane. Right now this is what I call. Now we're using the class person. Now class person. This is a class. Class hello world. This is also a class. Now the class person has a variable called name and it has a method called say hello, right? And when it comes to the class hello world, right now it has a main method called, it has a main method. Right now, what I have done here is in the main method, from the class person, I have created from the class hello world, I have created an object of the class person. Now, since object of a class person can be stored inside the person type variable, now this is the person type. Variable name is person. And using the new keyword, I have created a new instance of the person class. And calling the constructor of the person, I have initialized it. And for the name variable, I have accessed it using p.name John Cena. And then, right now, remember, this P and Q are instances. P and Q are we call as an objects. P and Q are objects. Using the class person, I have created two objects called P and Q. Now, the important thing is, right now, every object has its own set of values for the variables, instant variables. Now, that's why p.name and q.name are two different things. P.name and q.name are two different things because p can have its own values, q can hold its own values. Right, okay, quickly try out. Now, this is how we create an object from the class person. I have created objects from the class person. Now, what the person class has? Variable name and the method say hello. Now, when I create a person object, P, that can have a name because I have declared the string name variable in the person class. Therefore, since we have declared the string name variable in the class person, the person object can hold a name. And in the person class, we have a method called say hello. Therefore, every person class object can use the say hello method. Okay, quickly try out this code and we will discuss. Right now, is it working? Right now, we have declared the name variable and we have declared the say hello method, right? Therefore, since name and the say hello method declared, now those are available for the person objects. Now we have created instances, or we can call objects from the person class. Now then person object of the person class has the name and also it can execute the say hello method. Right. Therefore, now we have declared that each object of the person class has the attribute name and it could execute the method say hello. Therefore, now that's what we declared. Right. Is this clear or you got it? If not, ask questions, please. Okay. It seems no questions, right? Okay. Right. Then we were discussing that Java is object-oriented and how to create an object and how to work with the objects. I just illustrated and then we're going to discuss further. Don't worry about that if you can't understand. And Java programs are robust. Why? Because if the program goes wrong, it won't create much damage because Java programs runs inside a protective cage. Therefore, effects of any errors are confined and controlled. And also Java has ensured the reliability of the code right now because it lets the users to find the errors at the compiler time. That means at the program development, it allows user to find the errors and then it check the code at the compiler time and the runtime. And also memory management is done by the garbage collectors. When there is null reference objects, garbage collector will clear all and the exception handling and everything is there. Right now, what is an exception handling? If you have no idea, so what is the garbage collection? Now, right. Let's say now, is the computer has unlimited memory? No, we have very limited memory, right? Yes.
Yes.
Now, therefore, in using a program, now you can allocate the memory to store values temporarily. No? Therefore, now you can create objects from the Java classes and you can store it in the memory. Right now, if you do not remove those objects or if you do not clear the memory, then memory will be assigned. Therefore, now the memory will not be utilized because cannot be utilized because it is already utilized and it cannot be used by another one because those are already allocated. Therefore, now the garbage collector, there's a one called garbage collector. Now it checks for, it runs by the Java virtual machine. Therefore, when there is a null reference objects are available, the Java virtual machine runs the garbage collector automatically and then it clears the memory. If there is any null reference objects, it clears it. Right. And then what is the exception handling? Right now, right, we wrote a program, right? Okay. Now I'm gonna remove this the person class because no longer we require the person class. Now in the person class you can see no main method. The no main method. No? Right now, if you check the person class, right now you can see here the place where you compile the person class. If you check. Right now, you will see now it has generated the class called person.class. If you try to run the person class, now since we have a separate class called person, right, without dot class extension, if you try to run it, now you will get an error saying main method not found. Since main method is not available, you cannot run. Main method not available, therefore you cannot run. Therefore, please define the main method. Now it gives you the signature as well. Define the main method as follows. Right, therefore that's what I said simply previously. In order to run a program, you need to have the main method, right? Right now, let's say we have two numbers, x equals 5 and y equals 0. Integer result is equals, I'm going to do x divided by y. If x equals 5 and y equals 2. And then let's display the output. Let's display result. Now let's compile and see. Now 5 divided by 2, it gives you integer division, therefore 2. Now change the y value as 0. Y value as 0 and then run this program and tell me the output. What is the answer? Just change the y into 0 and then run it and see. What happens?
There is an error.
Yes, what is the error?
Arithmetic exception.
Yes, exception. Because by integer divide by 0, right, there is no answer, right? Therefore, now the program stops. Now let me compile it. The program stops now, and then it gives us an error, an exception. Actually, not an error. This is an exception. Now it says exception thrown. What is the exception? Java language arithmetic exception. Division by 0. Now division by 0. Because you cannot divide integer by 0. Therefore, division by 0 exception has been occurred. Right. Therefore, since exception has occurred, now the program stops. But Java has a way of handling exceptions. Therefore, now this is going to happen during the runtime, because now let's assume you have written a program where you ask user to enter two numbers, and then you're going to get the addition, you're going to get the subtraction, multiplication, division, so on. Therefore, now you ask user to enter the two numbers, and user enters two numbers. And when you perform the operations, now if the second number, if it is 0, then first number divided by the second number, then number divided by 0, no answer. Then it will give you an exception. Now, when there's an exception thrown, right, it will stop the program and exception will be thrown. Therefore, the rest of the program will not get executed then. Therefore, in order to handle that, there are respective exception handlers available in Java. Right now, you can call as try-catch blocks. Right now, we can use the exception handlers in order to handle the exceptions. Therefore, now the Java has exception handling. Therefore, now the Java safeguards to ensure the reliable code by forcing the user to find errors in the early stage of the program development. It checks the code at the compiler time. If there is any syntax or anything, then it's going to check at the compiler time. And during the runtime, whether there is any errors. And memory management is done by the garbage collector. And then exception handling is done by the exception handlers. Right, now that is how Java ensure the reliability of the code. Right. And Java is secure because Java programs are even protected against infiltrations by viruses because it checks for the array boundaries, it holds the buffer overflows, and it verifies all the memory accesses. Because Java does not use any pointers because all the pointers are handled by the Java itself. Therefore, there are no pointers. It ensures that the programs cannot gain access to memory locations without proper authorization. And Java is distributed. You can create applications on networks and has the ability to share both data and the programs. And Java is multi-threaded and interactive because Java supports multi-threaded programming. That means it allows user to write programs that perform many functions simultaneously. That means while counting, you could write into a text file, and at the same time you can you can write into another log file. Likewise, you could do multiple tasks. You can keep the timer, you can run the scheduler. Likewise, therefore, for an example, while you are listening to the lecture, you can take a note, you can use your mobile phone. Likewise, you may do multiple tasks at the same time. All right. And Java has higher performance because right now Java is designed to work on the Java virtual machine. Then the Java virtual machine is designed to perform well on the low power CPUs because the source code is already converted to bytecode. The bytecode is similar to machine code. Therefore, in order to run the Java application, we need to interpret the Java virtual machine has to interpret the Java bytecode. Therefore, Java architecture is designed to reduce overheads during the runtime. And with the help of multi-threading, it enhances the overall execution speed by performing multiple tasks at the same time. And Java programs can carry a lot of runtime information, which is used to verify and access objects during the runtime. Therefore, that makes possible to dynamically link code. Therefore, Java is dynamic and extensible. Right. Now we're going to talk about the object-oriented concepts. Right. Now, object-oriented concepts, now we discuss that Java, everything in Java works as an object. Right now, you can create instances of objects. Right now, as in the real world, right now, objects communicate with each other. Likewise, now here in double O programming is about modeling real world problems. Right, therefore, the object-oriented programming involves breaking problems into manageable components or manageable objects. Then what is an object? What is an instance, if you say? It is a tangible thing. It could be a role. It could be an interaction. It could be a specification. Like now, we can create a class from the person class objects. Then it is a person. You can create a class object from a class car, right? And then you can create a object from the manager or the accountant. Likewise, you can create a instance from an account class, right? Then you can create a instance from a color class. Likewise, therefore, object could be a tangible thing. It could be a role, interaction, or specification, or anything. Object could be anything. Therefore, object represents an individual identifiable item or entity, either real or theoretical. Therefore, objects represents an individual or identifiable item or entity which is real or theoretical. Therefore, if every object should answer for these three questions, who am I, what I know, what I do, what I can do. Who am I, what I know, what can I do. Right now from the person class, previous example, look at the code and then tell me who am I. By looking at the person class objects, tell me who am I, what I know, and what can I do. Okay, think and tell me quickly. Previous person class object.
It is a database. Know the two persons' name, and it can display or use those two names.
No, look at the code, Pute. Look at the code person class. Do you have the code? Have you written the code? All right, let me write it then quickly. I'm gonna have another one. Class student simple C. We have string name. Hi, simple. Avoid print get exam. Right. Okay, look at this and then create a student object, two objects from the student first. Name it as S1, S2, and then assign a name and age, and thereafter call the method say hi, and thereafter try to identify who am I, what I know, what can I do. Try to identify that.
a student, what he know names and the age of students, and finally he can do say hello, print hello.
Yes. Now, let's say now here, if you create a student object, student S1 equals new student, right? Likewise, I'm gonna create an instance. Now, this is what you call as an object, no? Now, who am I? I am S1. I am S1. Object name, I am S1. What I know? I know the name, I know the age. What can I do? I can say hi. We create two objects and have two different values and see how it works. Right, finish. Right. Then do you want me to do this or did you do it? Okay, let's try out quickly. Right now we can assign values. Right now we can assign the values. S1 dot name. Let's say someone. S1 dot age equals, let's say, 10. Right now, rather saying hello, we'll say hello from then we can just call the S1 dot say hi. Let's compile S1. Then it says hello from someone age 10. Now you can see name S1. What I know is name and age. What I can do, I can say hi. Right now, these are the what object can do. Right. Therefore, when it comes to an object, remember object represent an individual identifiable item or entity which can be real or theoretical. Right. Then every object knows answers for these three questions: who am I, what I know, and what I do. Who am I is the identity. What I know is the data. What can I do is the method. Right. Therefore, what from the class, the variables declared is what I know. The methods declared what can I do. And the object identity is the ID who am I. Right, now a class. Now we have created a class, and then class represent a template or a blueprint of an object, because how the object behave is defined inside the class. Because in the class student, I have decided what object knows and what object can do. Therefore, a class present a template or a blueprint of an object, and class can be used to create any number of objects of that class. Therefore, each individual object is called as an instance. Each individual object is called as an instance of a class. Therefore, we can declare the class then according to the way we require objects to behave. What objects wants to know, then based on that we could declare the variables. And what objects wants to do, based on that we could declare the methods. Therefore, the methods and the variables available in the class, based on that objects or the instances can access those. Right. Therefore, class, you can say it's a blueprint or a template. Therefore, you can say this is a class, and based on the class, you can have multiple objects. Using the same class right now, not only one, here you could create thousands of objects. Each object has separate copy of these name and the age variables. Each object has a separate copy, its own copy of name and the age. Right, and then we have here the class car. Right now you can see the variables available: model, color, number of passengers, amount of fuel. The methods available: add, remove, add passenger, remove passenger, get the tank filled, report when out of fuel, likewise. Using the class, you can create an object, a car, and then you can have data: model, Mustang, color, yellow, number of passengers, 0, amount of fuel, likewise you can see, and then it could behave as the methods available in the class car. Right. Therefore, class is a piece of the source code. Class is a piece of the source code. An object or an instance is an entity in a running program. Remember, the class is a piece of the programmer's program source code. An object is an entity in a running program. Class is written by the program. Object also, right, created when the program is running. Object created when the program is running. Right. And then the class specify the structure, the number of variables, number of methods it could have. The class specifies. The object hold the specific values to the data. Specific values of data. These values can change while the program is running. Then the class specify the possible behaviors of its objects. Objects behaves appropriately when called upon. That means based on the class methods, objects can behave. Those are the differences between class and the objects. Right. Now, just read this and then identify the classes and their data and the methods for this given context. Quickly figure out what are the classes and what are the variables and what are the methods required.
There are 2 classes. Yes, sir.
Sorry, I was talking while the microphone is muted. What are the 2 classes?
Professor and course.
Professor and course. Okay, right.
Uh, the, data for professor class is SSN and course class for course ID. And the method is teach
Where? In which class?
in professor class.
Professor class, right. Okay, what are the other attributes you can have for the professor class?
Name,
Okay, name, SI, SSN, we have what else?
department.
Department, okay, contact number, right. Likewise, we can have, right, great. Thank you. Right, now we're going to talk about that the double OP concepts, abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, likewise. Then the abstraction. Right now you can see inside the class. Now outsiders can see, okay, there is a class called student. Right now, we said the system is a class, no? Right. Do we see what's inside the system? We have no clue what's inside the system. We only see, okay, there is a class called system. Likewise, now inside the class, we hide all the attributes and all the methods available. Outsiders, we only see the student, the class name. Likewise, here, abstraction means refers to the act of representing essential features without including the background details or explanations. Data abstraction, right? Or data hiding. You call this as data abstraction or data hiding. And then we have something called encapsulation. Now, encapsulation, right now, if you take an example, now you may have, right now, everyone may have used capsules, right? Medicines, everyone may have used medicines. Right now, have you seen, do you know what's inside the capsule? Can you see what's inside the capsule? No, we only know the medicine is there. Some kind of drug is inside the capsule, but we don't know what's exactly because it's covered. It's protected from the outsiders. Now, it won't get like now the air won't go inside. Likewise, then it is protected because likewise in Java also, there is a mechanism we call it as encapsulation. That means which binds together methods and the data it manipulates. Keep safe from the outside interference and misuse. Right now in my class student, right now you can see here it says name. Right now I can access to the name, no privacy, no security. Anyone who has the access to the student class can change. Using the dot operator, you could change the name and the age, right? You could do it. But if you use encapsulation, that means if you put the access modifiers. Now, for an example, I will explain this later again. Just for the reference I'll be doing. If you use private keyword in front of the variable, right? If you use the private. Now, if we try to compile, now you will end up by getting an error. Now, what is the error? It says, now name has private access. S1, you can't access like S1.name. No, you can't. Because you have protected the name variable. Only the access provided to the class inside the class. Outsiders cannot access, but now you can see for the age, we did not get the error because age is possible. To access using the dot operator, object name dot, the attribute you could access, but if you make it as private, now no one outside the student class can access the name variable. If you really want to allow them to access it, if you really want to allow outsiders, then you could generate a public method, public you could declare a public method call. If you want outsiders to read the name, then you can have a method called public get name. Then if anyone wants to read it, but then no one will be able to change it now, because they will be only able to public return type is string, and what it's gonna do is it's gonna return the name. It's gonna return the name. Why? Now, if someone wants to access the name, then let's say name equals, I have something called and. If someone wants to read this name, then they have to go through s1 dot get name. Then only they will be able to access. Even that can return a string value. Therefore, if you want to print it, you only like now it is returning a string value, therefore that I'm going to print directly. Now, if you want to access it now, you can see you have to go through the get name, but you cannot change the value now. You can only read the value. Now we have defined access modifiers. We have declared a getter method. Right now, then you can see it prints and. Why it prints and? Because now here we are reading the and value. We are not allowed to change. If you want to allow them to change as well, then you need to declare another method. Now, let's say now there are certain variables you want to allow to change. Then you can say void set name. Right, like as you can say set name, and then you can have variable called string name. Then you could say this dot name equals name. Okay, let's say now if I have a variable name as n, then no need of this keyword. Right, now if someone wants to set the name, now they have to go through the method set name. S1 dot set name. Right. Now you have to go through the name method set name, then only you will be able to change it. Now, for an example, if there's a class called student, and let's say there's a method called results or something, or marks, then if you don't want outsiders to change the marks variable, then you can make it private. And then you don't have to set the method for set marks. You can only generate the get marks. Then outsiders will be able to only read the marks, only to read the marks, not to save the marks right now, not to change the marks. Likewise, then based on the requirement, you could do it. Now that is how you do the encapsulation. Now this is how you provide the encapsulation. Right now, here we have only the, let's say I have done encapsulation only for the name variable, not for the age variable. Therefore, I'm going to delete the age. Right now, this is how you achieve the encapsulation. Okay, quickly try out this as well. Okay, quickly try and let me know. Right, okay. Then encapsulation, we discuss how to achieve the encapsulation. And then inheritance. Inheritance means, right, okay. Let me quickly show you the inheritance as well. Let's say, okay, I have say hi, hello method available. The student class, no? I'm going to create another class called what? Student get subclass. Right now we're gonna say full-time student, F student. Let's say now, okay, I'm gonna create this one as the person class. This is the person class. Hello from person. And then I'm gonna have another class called student. And I'm gonna make, okay, don't worry about these things. I'm just showing you. And then we will discuss later. Right now, I'm gonna make it as a subclass of the person class. Now, person is a superclass. Right, class student extends person. Right, you can see student class does not have anything. Right now, I'm gonna try to compile this. Now I'm gonna run the student class hello world. Right now, you can see here the student class does not have method called say hi, right? Say hi method is declared in the person class. But the student became a subclass of the person class. Then person is the superclass or the parent class. Student is the child class or the subclass. Now, since using the extends keyword, I have became a student became a subclass of the person class. Now, this is what you call as the inheritance. Now, accessing the properties of another class through inheritance. Right now, see, now I don't have the say hi method inside the student class, but here I have created a student class object and then I'm calling the method say hi, which is not available or which is not declared in the student class, but it is inherited from its superclass. Now, when I run this, it says hello from person. Hello from person means yes, student class invoke the say hi method, which is inherited from the parent, but there its behavior is defined as hello from person. Therefore, the text is defined hello from person. Therefore, it displays hello from person. This is what you call as inheritance, acquiring the properties or the objects, or if you have variables declared, those also you could access of the superclass through a subclass is what you call as the inheritance. Okay, try this one quickly. Right? Okay, then that is about inheritance. Right, now let's talk about the inheritance done. Polymorphism. Polymorphism means the ability to take many forms, as one of you previously said. It allows different objects to respond to the same message in different ways. Now, in this picture also you can see when it says speak now, different animals speak differently. It makes different noises. Right, now that's what you call as the polymorphism. Right. And then when it comes to, right now, those are the basics. Now, just I gave you a brief introduction. Right now, let's talk about like now we wanted to declare variables and we already declared variables actually. We have already used the variables. Now, when you are declaring a variable, right, that means when you are declaring an identifier, there are rules to follow in Java. What are those rules? Let's go through quickly. Right now, if it is a legal identifier, remember, you must start with any letter of the alphabet, O underscore or a dollar sign. Remember, you must start with a letter or dollar sign or an underscore. It has to be either letter, underscore, or a dollar sign. Right? Identifier must be a letter, underscore, or a dollar sign. Then it cannot be a number. Remember that. It cannot be any other symbol. The second character onwards, it could be a letter, number, dollar sign, or underscore. The symbols are only allowed underscore or dollar sign. Now remember the first digit. Oh, sorry, first character. First character should be a letter, underscore, or a dollar sign. And the second character onwards, it could be a number, letter, underscore, or a dollar sign. And there is no limit, but no spaces are allowed. If you want to keep the spaces, then you have to put the underscore. If you want to keep the spaces using underscore, you could do it. And then you can't use Java keywords. You can't use Java keywords as identifiers. And first character should be a letter, underscore, dollar sign. Second character onwards, it could be a letter, underscore, dollar sign, or a number. No limit, no spaces, and cannot use the keywords. And remember, those are case sensitive. Therefore, Java identifiers are case sensitive. Right. Now, remember these. Now, these are the list of Java keywords, predefined words. Therefore, you don't have to by heart these because eventually you will remember. Now, you can see already you know about the private we have used today. And then we have used public we have used today. Likewise, some keywords already we have used. Therefore, those you cannot use as an identifier because these are predefined keywords. Those you cannot use. Therefore, don't worry, you will eventually, you will remember these. Right. Now, let's see. Right, what are the valid identifiers and what are the valid identifiers? We'll see. Right. Now, the first one, is it valid?
Yes.
Underscore A,
Yes,
is
it
it
is.
valid? Yes or no?
Yes, because
Yeah.
underscore can start.
Yes, you can start. Second one, $C, is it valid?
Yes.
Yes, you can start with underscore dollar or letter. That's correct. Third one, several underscores, 2 underscore W, is it valid?
Yes.
Yes, you
After
can
the second
start.
one.
Yes, you can start with underscore. First character, fine. You can start with underscore. Then after the first character, second one onwards, it could be a underscore, a dollar, letter, or number. Therefore, fine. Fourth one, is it valid?
Yes.
Yes,
Start with the underscore.
yes, underscore dollar. Right. Fourth one, is this valid?
Yes.
Yes. Right. Okay. Then the next one. Colon B, is it valid?
No,
Why not?
it is not started with English letter underscore dollar sign. Oh,
Great. The next one. Hyphen D.
it is also not.
Yes, hyphen is not a valid character. E hash.
Second one should be a dollar sign underscore letter or number.
Excellent.
Hashtag is not there.
Yes. Dot F.
Cannot start with dot.
Exactly. 7G.
First one should be a letter underscore dollar sign, not number.
Yes, cannot start with a number. Great. Okay, that is how, those are the rules you have to remember when you are declaring variable names, and variable names are case sensitive. Remember that. Right. Now we have finished this as well. Any questions? If you have, please ask. Up to now, what we have done. Now, the next day, we're going to talk about operators and Java operators. We're going to talk about operators. Any questions? If you have, please ask now. Okay, if you have no questions, then right. Okay, what are those? Generates an error. It cannot divide by C. Okay, previous one. No, he ran. Is that okay now? An exception thing. I think for that you have sent the message, no? It cannot divide by 0. Right. Okay. Any questions? Please ask. Otherwise, I'm going to wind up for today. Any questions? No questions. Okay, then we'll wind up for today. Thank you very much then.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.